Hey everybody, it's Jenny Spinner, Chief Editor of Snack Food and Wholesale Bakery, and I'm here with Liz. Liz,
Liz
introduce.
Parker-Toon, Senior Editor, Candy Industry and Snack Food and Wholesale Bakery.
And we are here at the end of the month of April to talk about all the new product highlights. It was a really great month. I mean, it's always a great month. All you snack and bakery producers out there keep coming up with things that are worth talking about. This isn't a product review. We let our opinions come in every once in a while, but this is a roundup of products that are on trend, especially creative, or sometimes just weird. So let's get into it. First of all, Luna Bar, which is a Mondelez owned brand, came out with a couple of bars. It's notable because it's their first brand innovation in 7 years, but also because these are fiber forward. There's always been a little bit of fiber in these bars, which are delicious in the proteiny space. But these have a decent amount of fiber, and with fiber being the nutritional ingredient that is set to overtake protein, not there yet. I just thought it was an interesting innovation, something I'm interested in because I'm trying to get more fiber in my diet. Um, I haven't tried them yet, but the strawberry banana and the mixed berry flavors, they both look appealing. Real berries, also the realness touted on the front of the pack. That's another thing that's on trend and worth mentioning. Liz, what did you think of these?
I thought it was really interesting that they said it was their first brand innovation in 7 years. Luna Bar, I feel like I don't hear too much from. I always forget they're a Mondelez brand actually, because
Hmm.
Mondelez just has so many brands. But yeah, it should be interesting. What's the new term that's going around? Fiber maxing. So
Fiber
people who are
maxing.
interested in fiber maxing will enjoy these probably.
Yeah, and it's interesting because fiber maxing was a term that came up during, as we are recording this. I'm a week returned from ABA convention. And in a lot of the sessions, Anne-Marie Rerick's bakery playbook presentation, it came up a lot. Um, so well done, Luna. I hear new innovations are coming in addition to these, so they're not going to wait another 7 years before they introduce new bars. Um, oh, Liz, you've got one that sounds really good.
Yep, mine is also on the sweet side. Parlor Donuts, they're a donut chain kind of gaining in popularity. They are coming out with a Mother's Day collection and a Made for May collection. And if you recall, I think we talked about them on one of these before. They had some savory
Yes.
donuts. I
Pizza
believe it was like
donuts.
January. Yeah, I really wanted to try that. I wasn't able to.
Mhm.
They do have some in Michigan. They have one, it's like 20, 30 minutes from me, so eventually I'll get there. But what's interesting is they have a donut. It's a Just for Mom donut and it has an edible orchid on top, which I don't think I've ever seen before. Like definitely not from like Dunkin' or any of the like major chains. So I found that pretty interesting.
Yeah, Parlor, I'm in the north side of Chicago and I'm lucky enough to be surrounded by Mexican bakeries, Panadaria, but I'm in a bit of a commercial donut desert. I mean, I'm near Dunkin', but if I want to get to a Krispy Kreme, I have to drive something like half an hour or more. Parlor is growing and they're getting closer and closer, but again, that's another food service chain that I have to drive a little bit to explore. And I definitely want to go because the pizza donuts, savory donuts, wild. I heard from a friend who said thumbs up. But yeah, they're doing some fun things. Edible orchids. I'm I was at a corporate event one time and they had a very nice lunch set out. One of the salads had edible orchids sprinkled on top. And I told somebody like, ooh, edible orchids. And they didn't believe me, so I just popped it in my mouth and ate it and weirded them out. I'm adventurous, but yeah, they're delicious. It tastes just like, a little bit of there's no real flavor to it. It's just like romaine lettuce or something like that. So there's no flavor to it, but it's gorgeous and it's a nice touch. Um, Donuts are It's interesting to see what chains are doing both in the food service space and the retail space with donuts and fun flavors coming up. Um, we already brought up protein. Let's bring it up again. Those darn Kardashians, you can't get away from them. You think you're safe for covering the food service industry, and here comes Chloe, first with their Cloud protein popcorn, and now with Cloud protein chips. Um, we've talked about the Cloud protein popcorn that has whey protein isolate, right? On the sprinkled on it. That's where the base is. This is a chip that's made with non-GMO cornmeal and avocado oil. Comes in three flavors now: sweet heat, nacho, and buffalo. And it's on trend because not because of the Kardashian aspect so much that got attention, but just a lot of brands are betting on protein, and here's another protein product to talk about.
I'm going to have to start treating Cloud the way I treat Oreo, where they just have like, I always joke they have like flavor scientists like locked in a room somewhere because I feel like every couple of weeks we're talking about Cloud. They've got new innovations out. These should do well for all the reasons you were saying. Protein is hot right now, and then these are literally hot, sweet heat, buffalo. Nacho, probably not so much. But yeah, it's definitely the Kardashian name that brings in the fans probably, but then once they try it, they might like the taste and things like that. So definitely interesting. And it's the first chips from them, I believe. They were mostly doing popcorn
That's
before
pop.
this. Yeah.
Yep, yep. Liz, what's your next thing?
Mine is more in the food service world. So Paris Baguette, fun fact, dangerous fact, the BNP Media office is a 5-minute walk from Paris Baguette. So every time I work in the office, I definitely go there, and sometimes they're kind enough to send me a gift card, and then I splurge. So right now in my fridge is one of their sweet potato sticks, which is one of my favorite, but that's neither here nor there. So they came out with a Korean barbecue menu. So technically they're a French Korean cafe, as is, and I always mispronounce this, but Tous Les Jours. I don't speak French. Which is a kind of a competitor of theirs. So they kind of went back to their roots and they came out with like a pizzetta, a wrap and grilled cheese, and all of it had like Korean beef, either on top of it or in it. So that sounded really interesting to me because I love like Korean barbecue and Korean flavors. And I would be really interested to see how it did with their core base because they have a lot of like, I would say they have a lot of like Asian inspired pastries, but then you've got the French side as well.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Korean fusion. There used to be in Chicago's Lakeview neighborhood, not too terribly far away from Wrigley Field, if you're familiar with the Chicago Cubs. They're not doing too great this season, but on my way there, there was a Korean taco place. So it's kind of a no-brainer. The Korean, the fresh flavors, the sweet heat, the bulgogi, which is that usually thinly cut sweet barbecue flavor. This is interesting because Paris Baguette, like you, it's not dangerously close to me now, but I ironically passed one by on the way to and on the way home from the gym. Uh, so work out, burn off those calories, and then just like load up on their pastries. I'm a cheesecake
Carbs.
girl, so their cheesecakes are really good. But this is interesting. The Korean fusion. I could get lunch and a little sweet treat after my next time. So yeah, it's interesting to see the growth of this chain, high end, and it delivers. It's not the prices are accessible, so it skews premium, but the prices aren't so much premium. So they're in my wheelhouse because I like things that are fancy but don't have fancy price tags. So maybe Paris Baguette, you might be seeing me soon. My next thing is a fun, I don't know if you call it fusion so much as Asian inspired King's Hawaiian. You know them from their sweet Hawaiian rolls. They've since gotten into pretzel bites and other things, and this is a fun, technically returning item. Ube coconut rolls. So it's their sweet. Hawaiian rolls with ube and coconut. Ube is the Asian sweet potato with the distinctive purple hue. So I just had them for lunch actually. They're just they're sweet, they're purple, they have a lovely chewy texture. I love purple. See my office wall. Actually the color of the rolls, not too far off. My 50th birthday cake was ube. It's a very subtle flavor. And it's just fun because it's purple. And it's really interesting because like I said, I'm a week out of ABA convention, and Joe Leonardo, who I believe is their chief operating officer, but don't quote me on that. Sorry if I got it wrong, Joe, was talking about just the tremendous response, how people on TikTok have been making recipes with these other King's Hawaiian products, but these really took off because of the purple color, I think. It's currently an LTO. I hope it comes back because yeah, I am not a product review video, but I'm gonna review this product and it's pretty awesome. So thanks, King Hawaiian. Or Jill. Who the hell is Jill? Jesus. Liz, have you tried these? You said
I
I
have
said you did.
I have not, but
Oh,
what's interesting is it was already a re-release, right? So it was a limited time offer, and then people are like, bring it back, bring it back. So they brought it back. So now that they brought it back, is it going to be permanent? I don't know. But it's interesting you say people are like making stuff with it because it's definitely desserty. So I could definitely see,
um,
someone making a dessert out of it. There is not a ton of Filipino cuisine here, unfortunately, because it's really good. But there was a place that was in Detroit that moved to the suburbs, and I had this like ube shaved ice dessert. It was like yay big, and it
Halo
was
Melo.
really good.
Yeah.
Right?
Um, if I live the bakery that I got my 50th birthday cake from is Genevieve's in Lakeview, so it's a little bit of a drive. She was on a reality show that Sweet Bites or something like that. I will look it up and report back, but she's known. I think I had ube at her place, cupcake form, for the first time years and years before it was like a trend everywhere. So I'd like to take credit for it, but it's Jenny's credit. Other places around here you could get ube stuff. There's a couple of Seafood City is a chain that's there's a couple locations in the Chicago area, but just Filipino flavors and bakery are a lot of fun. And I think the next flavor is going to be pandan, which is again another subtle flavor. It's got a little bit of a green hint, kind of vanilla and kind of earthy. I don't know. I'm a big fan, but whenever I predict things, I'm wrong, so don't listen to me. Liz, what's your next product?
So my next product, and I don't remember who I was talking to this week about this, but like I was talking with someone and they were like, you know what I miss? I miss those toys in the cereal boxes. And I was like, it's funny you say that because I just wrote about this for work. So Kellogg's, and it's rather confusing now, but when I say Kellogg's, I mean WK Kellogg, which is owned by Ferrero, not Ferrera, I
Yeah.
believe. And they are the only like subsect of what used to be Kellogg's that is owned by them. The rest is was Kellanova and now it's Mars. Confusing. Anyways, so they are coming out with some cool new packaging for Toy Story 5, which I'm super excited about. It's one of my favorite franchises. And
Mhm.
they are going to be putting toys in the box. And I guess, I mean, I have a daughter, but she's not old enough to eat cereal. So I guess when I saw this, I was thinking, like, when did they stop putting toys in the box? Like, I guess I'm out of the loop on that, but that is a cool idea nonetheless.
Yeah, I too miss toys and cereal. I One of my favorites was, and I believe it was Captain Crunch, had this little submarine toy that you took out and you put baking soda in it and then put it in water and
Ooh.
it would rise and fall. And I'm like, this is me remembering something that happened when I was 7, so I'm probably getting some of that wrong. More recently with one of the Star Wars sequels, there was a lightsaber spoon in
Oh yeah.
some cereal or other. It came in different colors because Darth has and Kylo Ren, they have evil red. Luke has green Blue. I'm a terrible Star Wars fan. My friend Betsy is a huge Star Wars person. She would be very upset with me. Mace Windu is purple. That I remember because I love purple. Mace Windu is Samuel Jackson's character. Um, so there's been things inside cereal boxes on and off. But for Kellogg's to come out with this tie-in with toys, it's very nostalgic. So I think that, I mean, Liz doesn't have a kid old enough to eat cereal. I don't have kids at all, and yet we're probably the target market because it's a nostalgic thing. You remember getting the cereal, buying the box of cereal mostly for the toy. Um, this is what I would do. Later on, they would, put the toy in a separate thing and kind of like either stick it on outside or just like put it in the box outside the big pillow of cereal. But when I was little, I remember dumping out the entire bag of cereal so I could sort through it and get the toy and then put it all back. Maybe eventually the cereal, but I think that this is a smart move by Kellogg's because I might not be the only person buying the cereal mostly for the toys. Um, so really fun, interesting marketing thing. Liz and I sometimes agree on things. Sometimes many when we go to our separate corners and pick out the products, but we agreed on one, and I will let Liz start.
Okay, so Lay's is doing some global and soccer inspired LTO World Cup FIFA. I'm not a soccer person, something like that. But there are, what I found interesting about this, there are three LTOs that came out in the US. It's Argentinian style steak with chimichurri, Brazilian style garlic sauce, and wavy French onion soup. And the press release also had the list of what other countries were debuting, and theirs were also really cool sounding. Like I want to say one was like maple syrup or something. So I was like, these all sound really interesting. So yeah, a great selection of global flavors, and we had some people over last week to make brisket. So we broke out the Lay's chips, and everyone was really, well, everyone, there was two friends. They were really interested. They were like, "Ooh, like steak chips, chimichurri, like that sounds good," and it
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah, there's a lot of soccer inspired. Some of officially FIFA, some that are just like, when the Super Bowl comes around, people talk about the big game, because you have to give the NFL money if you actually say Super Bowl.
Yep.
So there's official and unofficial, and these are some flavors that I want in my face. I haven't had the pleasure to try it, but I love a good Argentinian steak, chimichurri, the Brazilian garlic sauce that you get when you go to restaurants. French onion soup sounds amazing. For a second, I was like, is French onion soup one of those foods that's actually not French, but it is. So well done, Lay's. Yeah, with the world's soccer teams descending upon the US this summer, it's really cool that they're bringing a taste of home. So if people are visiting from Argentina or France or Brazil, they can try it and tell us if it tastes like home to them or not. Oh, Liz, it's your turn.
Yep. So my next one is back on the snack side with a heat of, or a little bit of heat, a little bit of spicy.
Yeah.
Favorite word, spicy. So Mike's Hot Honey, who I would say they have their hands in every honey pot, pun
Yeah.
intended. So they are doing a collab with Garrett's Popcorn, and I want to say they pitched this at like Sweets and Snacks last year, but I might be thinking of one of their other spicy things. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they are doing a collab with Mike's. So I looked this up. I was like, is this their first spicy flavor? They have a spicy cheese corn and a spicy kettle corn, but I think it's their
Yeah.
first collaboration with Mike's Hot Honey, who we've written about extensively because they're all over pizza, they're all over a lot of other snack and bakery type thing, mostly snacky.
Yeah, Garrett's is a Chicago company, and their uh, restaurants, I guess you call it food service outposts. They're everywhere. And I'm a fan. I think they do a really good job of replicating the freshly popped, the warm toasty popcorn they get in the store, in a bag. And I have I have a bag that's half eaten because it's I tasted it and I was like, they got the flavor exactly right. Sometimes I'm just amazed that flavor scientists get it. It's like it's not just honey, it's not just hot honey, it's that Mike's hot honey, which tastes differently than other, like Trader Joe's has their own private label hot honey. And it's a different spice. I think they use a different, maybe a different concentration of peppers, maybe a different type of pepper. I don't know, but it's definitely honey and not just sweet. It's heat. And I'm a spice girl, so they could amp it up a little bit, but it's probably best that they didn't because then it would put Liz is not the biggest fan of spicy things, so it would put her out of contention on that. So I think they did a really good job getting the specific flavor and all that good stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how it does at retail. The next product, a brand that has been a lot of fun to follow through the years, Dave's Killer Bread mini bagels in two flavors, which if you are a follower, a consumer of Dave's Killer Bread plain, Epic Everything is a flavor that they've put in a couple of different products. It's just everything bagel. Um, Mini bagels are having a moment of sorts. Portion control is a big issue, and when people, oh, well, I mean, I'm a um, I'm a refugee from Weight Watchers, and I remember that bagels were just demonized because they're too big and they're too many carbs and all this other stuff. But people still want carbs, and they still want, a treat, and bagels are. But downsizing is one way to get their smaller bagels, 100 calories a piece, so perfect for a little snack, a little bit of breakfast. So they're on trend with the portion control aspect, the clean label. And Dave's Killer is a brand with a mission. They second chance employment. Dave, the guy in the package, former incarcerated person, and Dave's Killer, after Flowers acquired, maintain that program. So it's just all around a really fun product, fun brand, fun. We're all about fun here today.
Yep. Yeah, this is a good one. Because like you were saying, a lot of times people don't want a large breakfast. They might just want something small or something snacky, or during the day, if you're like, hey, it's 11 a.m., I just want a snack or whatnot. The email pitch from this was compelling because the subject line said something like awesome and epic mini bagels. And I was like, oh, but it was in quotes. So I was like, that's interesting. Wonder what that's about. But yeah, should be interesting, especially like you said, people looking for portion controlled things.
Yeah. Your turn.
So going back to our protein trend, our sister magazine posted this, and I'm like, this is interesting. Let's have it on our site. So Guinness released some steak cuts, and basically it seems like a jerky, but to me it looks thicker. I think I did see a photo of the actual product, and it was like a thick cut. So it's like little pieces of steak, and I'm like, who would not want like little pieces of steak to snack on all day? I'm a fan of steak. And the marketing for this is interesting. I feel like they're trying to skew it towards men because the press release said something like you can bring it like on the golf course or like stick it like in your, it didn't say briefcase, but it was like something like that. But I remember the golf course part because I thought that was interesting. But I like steak and I would eat these. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I'm in a Facebook group that makes fun of manly things. Things that are just like targeted toward men, but ridiculous. Like there's this line of like personal care products like body wash and shampoo that's like meat and barbecue scented. I'm like, okay, who is this really for? I think that if a man were to use that, he'd be in danger of being followed around by bees or something like that. But uh Guinness steak cuts, it's a really interesting licensing. Guinness, the brewery, is not making these. They license out to a company that makes this and other meat snacks. Meat snacks are Liz would know as she's covered the category. Meat sticks, jerky snacks are having a bit of a flat period, but the brands and the products that are standing out are clean label and ones that have a little twist. And the Guinness steak cuts, thicker cut, like you said, the branding makes them distinctive. The flavors are pot roast, coffee, and chocolate, which don't sound like typical. Well, I mean, pot roast, obviously, that sounds like a natural, but the other two are notes that you wouldn't typically find in meat. Um, Although I've had, coffee rubbed steak and mole, I guess. That's a Mexican flavor. That's the center part of it is chocolate. So if I saw these, I think the Guinness name would catch me, and then I would pick it up, and the flavors would convince me to buy as a consumer. But it'll be interesting to see if that bears out at market. Um, we're almost out, and Liz has already brought up Oreo as a fun brand to follow. Um, this is just hot off the presses, as of today, the day of recording. Oreo Firecrack Pop cookies. Oreo is frequently mentioned because the team at Mondelez, there's two Mondelez products in here, because they have fun with stuff. Oreo went from having, when I was a kid, just regular Oreos, double stuff, that's it. But they've exploded with flavors, sometimes literally with popping candy and inside the space themed ones. This one is notable because, correct me if I'm wrong, they've had layered creams before, but this is 3 layers of cream with a different color, red, white, and blue, America. But each layer has a different flavor. The flavors associated with a bomb pop popsicle treat. Blue raspberry is blue, lemon is white, and then cherry is red. So a lot of fun things happen going on, and I'm an Oreo fan. Both in terms of eating and the creativity they've had with the brand. So that's why I brought this one up. Liz, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I'm looking at the picture now. It's definitely like 4th of July, definitely kind of festive, kind of early to release it, I feel like, if it's like 4th of July firecracker type thing, but it'll be out and maybe it'll probably build some buzz by the time July 4th rolls around. I have not tried these yet, but they are sending some to me, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, I think you're right. Now that I think of it, they've had like flavors stacked before. Have they ever had three different flavors stacked? I don't think so.
No, they've had
But
peanut butter and chocolate and other, I think S'mores had the chocolate and the marshmallow layer and the graham cookie. But I'm interested in getting trying these just because I want to I wanna can you peel the individual layers of cream off and taste them individually? To test that out. But Sweets and Snacks is coming up, and I'm going to be meeting with Mondelez, so I will try to corner somebody who can tell me the secrets. But they're pretty tight-lipped, so I might not be able to find them out. Um, I'm done. Are you done? I'm tired.
yep, same.
No, it's always fun talking about innovative products, and May is coming, and I'm sure all of the producers that are listening to this are working on new stuff, and if it's ready to tell us about, please send it to me, spinnerj@bnpmedia.com. Liz might want to hear it too. Liz, what's your email?
My email is Parker, Kuhne at bnpmedia.com.
Yeah, and definitely let us know whether you have a new product release out, whether you've been shopping and saw something cool and you want to share it with us, send it our way. And we'll see you here in about a month. Until then, bye.
See you later.